Alright, hello everyone. This is Disc, and we have a pretty awesome mist run here. For the week we are Tyrannical and Bursting and Volcanic. So it's a great week for Discipline. Mass Dispel for the win. People wish they were as good as Priest this week.
5, 4, 3,
but off the bat,
2, 1.
Our Warlock is a friend of mine, so he kind of just gets dubs on my PI. We have a really fat Mage, 2900 IO, and the tank is a friend too, so we way outmatched this key and we played it perfectly. So this is a stealth pass. Thank you, Rogue. And we're going into the first Tormentor. Mind Soothe right there.
One of the more ruthless Malorne draws close.
I go ahead and roll some atonements. And I want Varuth to be my first target for the spectrometer. I want him to get more DPS. So right on cue with our Warlock, he gets PI. I tone all 5 of us. And I'm going to lead with a boon here. Blast, Radiance, Blast. Kyrian File right there removes that bleed. I have it bound similarly to my wall, just with a modifier. They're kind of in the same vein. Got in a good grip there for our tank. I'm just going to run into the wall. Give him a feather too, wow. So we're a little bit dry here on the top of this, as far as DPS goes. But this is always a boon pull for us. I try and delay the boon as much as I can so that it covers both of these thrashes. So one is about to thrash. I'm just now getting everyone atoned. And I got into it a little bit delayed, which helps me cover both. Blast, Radiance, Blast, staying in range so that the eruption hits. Everyone is full health, not a problem. Getting a quick wall pull in. So no barrier here, but this is a great place for Shadow Fiend. Kind of negates the dot. Also helps the DPS on the single target. So Shadow Fiend first, Schism second. I want to DPS as much as I can while Schism is out. However, I do want to Radiance too while Fiend is still out, so I kind of wait for Schism to die off. Cast in a Radiance to get more benefit from that atonement throughout the group while the Fiend is up. And we're going into boss. This is a harder dungeon on Tyrannical, and this first boss can really be a game breaker. But we played it really well. So I like to use all my DPS cooldowns in the burn phases. Even though we don't need healing there, In a 21, you can kind of reserve that for just the DPS increase. I'm talking about Boon and Fiend. I try and feather on the front end of that Fear, just to help dodge the blue on the ground and also to help reposition. And yeah, the way that was pointed, I was kind of forced into the blue, but I just used wall to let the cast go off. Queued PI just on time. We have Bloodlust, which means Schism, Boon. And for Bloodlust, we have a Nova Blast pattern. You get 2 more blasts this way, more DPS. You can only do that in Bloodlust windows though, or if you PI yourself. So we're back on the big guy. There's no damage right now, but we have Schism available, so we're going to use it for DPS. I always try and make sure my party is in range of me and atoned. And yeah, again there I used a feather before the Fear. Just helps clear the damage. I hold Rapture because that phase was almost over. And I was going to Schism anyway, so here comes my Fiend, then my Schism. Just going for that DPS. And this boss is no joke on Tyrannical. I have Boon again. We're pushing the little guy, so I just go ahead and Boon. Not horrible return because we did have 2 targets to hit. Always keeping an eye on which way he goes. I type it into chat just to help out. We have PI available. Our lock is doing a wall pull, I noticed, so I line up the interception here with a grip, pull him to safety. In a pull like this, I want a dot, but I don't know if aggro is solid yet, so I fade on the entry. The best thing I can do here is PI or lock as perfectly as possible. Definitely always keep an eye on your Omni CD and or your Recard that helps you track offensive pops. For a Warlock, both of our spells are 20 seconds. The most optimal use would be a perfect overlap. I got that little add-on that helps me keep track. I mainly just forget. By the time I look at one, I've already forgot the one before. So it's kind of the healer's job to do these things. Our damage is negligible compared to everyone else. So I kind of get 1 or 2 while I'm mounted, and then get the others while I'm dotting. And I do want to get Boone rolling, so dot everybody, spread the final dot off my spectrometer, schism, and we're doing a Nova blast pattern that I'm trying not to break from. So now that my schism and Boone is over, I was trying to get the doors, but we had a wall pull I didn't realize. So dot everybody. Best thing I can do is QPI perfectly. And thankfully that heal on the group was quickly taken care of, and PI helped manage it too. Mass Dispel at 5 stacks. I always like to give myself my single. It allows me to mount, or it allows me to drink. But yeah, with the way that segment went, I didn't solve the maze. It was really important that we lived, so I just prioritized healing. It's fine. And here we have our single target segment, but I see our lock doing our wall pull, so I'm just getting in some basic damage while I'm waiting for the pull here. Heal the Warlock's pet. I'm sure he liked that. So really important to stay on top of your dispels here. They can act as bombs. But I go ahead and get all my dots out, get a couple atonements out, and after I remove a dot, I enter Boone. I'm anticipating that dot, so I don't want to interrupt Boone for a dispel, so I wait for the dot first. Here we go, next segment. Definitely needed some mana. But this is a PI pull. So I'm basically just going to do some simple damage, PI, figure out the maze solution while I dot. I'll schism in mines here. I didn't realize it, but it was the door I was standing at. And here we go. It's almost boss time, Tyrannical boss, but we're doing a wall pull. I am not going to hold Boone for boss with the way we get return on the cooldown. So we have a 5-pack here. I lead with Fade. I want to dot the whole group. And I spread my final dot off of the spectrometer with Penance. Cheaper on mana. So Blast, Dispel, Blast. Also, pulls like that where I just really want to get into Boone quickly. I've been dropping the third bolt of Penance. I really can't afford the time, but for one global, and the way Penance works out is the third bolt is after the first global, so it drops. Yeah, so I drop it and I go ahead and schism Boone. Keeping an eye on my PI target to Q. I believe he holds for the first intermission. I definitely want to boon the boss here since we're Tyrannical, and if it were a higher key I would have saved boon for the intermission, but I went ahead and rolled the cooldown just to start getting the return. There's our PI and Lust. So he gets a full Lust, full PI on boss. That's really great. And here I'll just Schism and pump as hard as I can, keeping all my spells on cooldown, keeping my dot active. One way to maximize your DPS is never cast Solace after Mind Blast. It'll put them on the same cooldown, which will be a loss ultimately. So I would have liked to Schism there, but never got it rolling. That's fine, I'll Schism the boss though. Sometimes, if the situation is not dire, while I'm in Schism, I will reserve Penance for the last 2 seconds of Schism. I'm just trying to allow for a proc to happen. That's what I did right there. So for this intermission, I want to get him down. He's right next to me. Schism, Boon, Nova, Nova, Blast. And boss, 2 down. Not a problem. I use this Levitate, Cancel R Levitate macro. It lets you put it to the same keybind, which I do Shift Spacebar. Makes it really easy to jump and then levitate. So I have a lot going on, and this is where I did not really optimize my PI perfectly. I think I was about 5 seconds late on our Warlock, but he still got good use of it for this Oros guy. No need to take a mana power this late in the game, especially the food buff. For the last boss, movement speed is definitely better. So I dot these 4 guys, and I really want to get into Boon before the larvae die. Yeah, with a group that big, I did Radiance to reatone the group, and I did throw 1 or 2 blasts just for the healing, but favored Nova there. We had enough mobs to get more value out of each global. So Boon is about to be available. I'm just killing time a little bit, getting my dots out, using the last couple seconds to atone the group. Schism, Boon, Nova, Nova Blast. And that goes to show you how professional our Warlock is. Since I was 5 seconds behind him from the previous pull, he waited 5 seconds for my PI. He was paying attention. I really got a drink here. Yeah, and this is when our tank called Shroud, so I said, uh-oh, I better mount. If you're a rogue that doesn't use whatever weak aura that is that counts, you should get it. We had a rogue earlier that didn't have that and I was so lost. So for a pull like this, we have the larva, which are going to die much quicker. I boon, and I'm just straight Nova-ing. And right there, I used my Cancel Aura Boon of the Ascended. Our Eruption is the most damaging part of that spell. And the way the cookie was going to crumble is the Eruption was only going to hit these 2 larger Gorgers after the larva died. So I canceled Aura right as the larvae were about to die. I wanted that Eruption to hit, 8 or 9 targets rather than just 2. So cancel Aura, Boon of the Ascended. Keeping an eye on my PI target, the lock, still not queued. I think he's waiting for the ad, so am I. Here come the ads. Always want to boon this first run of ads to get the return rolling. There's our PI target. And for a group of 5 with the boss, I'm going to do Nova Nova Blast. I want the boss to get that single target damage. So no boon this time, but since they are Tyrannical, I'm going to dot all of them. The last one I dot by Penance. Cheaper way to spread the dot. Don't have to worry about targeting them. And then I mines here just to pad the numbers. Here they are again. I want to get all my dots out. God, and now that I'm watching my videos, I do it all the time, but I will Shadow Fiend and mean to Schism, but then drop the Schism, so That's a rip. But we have Schism for Boon, and we have some Larva. Trying to stay in range in all of them. And with that boon, because of my haste, I get one final quick cast in before the eruption. Usually I will use it for a final Nova, but in a case like that where I was getting attacked, I was lower health, I used that last cast before the eruption just to shield myself, so that the eruption returned as a heal on me. One more quick PI for the win, and that was a perfect miss of Tirna Scithe 21. Not a single death. 4.5 DPS from the Discipline Priest. Super low on the avoidable damage. Always aim for that. And yeah, that was a really good run. So I think there was a lot to learn from that. And I hope everyone is enjoying my videos. I've been having a good time making them, and plan to do more, especially as we go into 9.2. So thanks everyone for watching, and until next time, Disc out.